Hello and welcome to Sandwell Junction. Today we're going to do some track ballasting. As many of you will be aware, I am currently working on this little side project. This is a raised section which we placed on top of the main layout board. I'll have an incline and then there'll be a nice little platform and station up on here. So today we're going to do some track ballasting right here. First things first, we must get a decent brush like this and ensure the area clean. This area is not at all clean, so we're just going to give it a good wipe over in the area where we want to do the ballasting. Make sure all the particles which are on here. I've been doing a lot of sawing, so there's been a lot of sawdust in the air, so we just need to get rid of as much as that from the area we're going to be working in. We essentially just need to make sure it's nice and clean, so we have a nice clean area to work from. And currently it's rather dirty. And there we go, a nice clean area to work with. So just give the brush a little clean, use your fingers in an easy way. So for this, I'm going to be using Woodland Scenic's medium ballast. It's a pretty simple process really. You can either take the lid off and pour, probably a bit of a clumsy way. Some people use a little pot. For instance, I could clean this out and use that might be a good idea. Or simply, you can use the built-in shaker. Open it up. There we go. I'm probably going to opt for this side. And simply shake it on in the area you want it. And right there I've put way too much, you can see it just there, far too much. So I'm now going to take this opportunity to bring it across, and this will help with us getting across. See, the shoulder here, the ballast shoulder, is going to be way too big, so we are going to have to take that away. You just have to be very careful about the amount you're putting on, because you only want a small ballast shoulder really, and what I've done here is far too much, so we're going to be wiping a lot of this away. And ballasting, it's a very messy operation. It's never going to be nice and neat and tidy. It's going to take a while. You can literally be here for a good hour or two just trying to get the ballast in the right area. So I'm just going to get this down to somewhere where I want it. I'm going to try and get rid of as much of this as possible, because when we come to PVA we don't want ballast sticking here, because we will be placing the platform here. So let's just bring this down. There we go, that's a little bit better. Bring this down a bit further. Here is more of an acceptable ballast shoulder, which we'll sort out in a minute. So as you can see, it's very important to make sure you've got the right amount, because you'll save yourself a lot of bother. And I went straight in there as a complete and utter amateur and basically put too much on. But that might be enough for the whole thing now, if I can just sweep it down in the right area. So my advice would be, put it in sparingly, quite sparingly, and you can always put more on. It's harder to take off than it is to put on, as I'm currently finding out. So we are getting somewhere slowly.
just bring some of this across here so we can create a realistic ballast shoulder. There we go, we're starting to define the areas where we want it. Right, I'm just going to continue bring this down now. Right, continue bring this down. It is literally a case now of tidying this up. We've got the general shape. I personally think I've got a little bit too much, but that's okay. We can brush it away. We can put something over the top of the hoover and hoover it up and put it back in the pot. So there will be no waste. That's that we can say. So now it's literally just a case of just getting this nice and neat. It can take quite a while, so please bear with me. So now I've managed to get the ballast fairly neat and how I'd like it. It's not too bad. On this side I've gone fairly tight to the track and the cork. That's on purpose because there will be a platform there, that platform there exactly, that'll be over here. So I'd like the people to get onto the trains and not have too much of an issue, not too much of a wide gap to get across. On this side I have been a bit more liberal. Because I'm going to have some more grass here and some smaller bushes, not as many as that over there. It's going to be more grassy this area and more kind of scrubby and, you know, wasteland. So yeah, now it's a case of getting some PVA glue, some washing liquid and some water, and then you can stick this down. So you literally just take some PVA glue, pop it in a bowl, Get a nice healthy glug. That should be enough. Add in some water. And then a spot of washing up liquid. This helps break the surface tension of the water so you can mix with the glue easily. So a little spot of that, that's enough. And then just mix it together. And there you have it, a PVA, water and washing up mix. This will help put your ballast where you want it. It will stick nice and firm to your baseboard. There are a number of ballast securing cements and what have you on the market. I think there's one called Ballast Mate, and there's ballast cements and all these things. They're readily available from all good model shops. But I find a spot of PVA, glue, water and wash up liquid does wonders. So all you have to do now is simply pour it on. Okay, as you can see, it's very easy to put far too much on as well. But that's okay, I'll wipe that away in a second. And then simply go down the edges as well. Some people will use a syringe or a pipette. I'm sure it's probably a lot more easier, rather than having all this excess which I'm getting. Now I think I might have a little bit too much water in here because it is washing the ballast away from where I've placed it slightly. But that's okay because I can sort it out afterwards. So many of you will consider this far too much, but I am a complete beginner, so cut some slack. Yeah, I think I might have a little bit too much water in here because it is washing the ballast away slightly. So yes, I think I might have put a spot too much water in because some of the ballast has come away. So you do learn. I make these mistakes so you don't have to. So that's simple. Okay, I've got a spot more here. Okay, I'm just going to wipe some more of this off the board and reuse it. Of course, when you have put so much like this on, you do want to wipe as much away as possible without getting rid of your ballast shoulder. Otherwise you're going to have the task that I did before of scraping it all off, which you can see here. Now, I think I should get some of this away from the middle here because if that dries you're going to have quite a lot of glue there and I don't really want that. So simply take a brush, and because you've already flattened your ballast you won't make much of a mess, just wash it down like this. You will pick a little bit of ballast up but not a great deal hopefully. I will have to get a track rubber on here as well to get any PVA which seeps onto the rails. I've tried my best to avoid the rails, but there's always a bit of spillage. Okay. See, the problem I've got now, which I'm not particularly happy about, because I put too much water in, all the time and effort I put into making sure there wasn't any ballast on the inside of the track here, is now washed all over the place and ruined that. So, not a very successful attempt this time. To remedy the loose ballast which is now drifted onto the track, I'm simply using my forefinger to press it back into where I'd like it, and this will get most of it off. So if, like me, you are a complete beginner and you're doing this for the first time, top tips would be careful with the amount of water you're adding into your glue, otherwise you'll end up with a big swampy mess like I have here. And it will ruin all your hard work, which is kind of annoying, but what can you do? So the only other thing I can do to save this afterwards, because this isn't having the greatest effect, is to get a craft knife and take a very long time scraping the ballast off the sleepers, which is what I'm going to have to do, I think. So yeah, we're just going to allow that to dry now. I'm going to get some tissue paper now as well and just mop up all this excess. Following this, quite frankly, massive cock up, there is quite a lot of work to be done to sort this out, but like anything, it can be fixed. Any of the ballast that has washed away along here and here can be scraped away. I can create a new clean edge with a craft knife, so my platform will sit nice and flush against the ballast. Anything here I'm not too happy with, I can cover up with grass and bushes and what have you. So it's not it's not a massive issue and a massive mistake, but it's a learning curve. I'm a complete beginner. If you're a seasoned professional, you can have a good laugh at this. If you're a beginner like me, you can not repeat the same mistakes. So it's good. It's a good thing to mess up sometimes. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and as always, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please just press like, please, even though it's been a bit of a disaster. Press subscribe if you already haven't done so. Press the bell notification so you will be notified when new videos are uploaded. And of course, please feel free to leave me a comment and tell me how badly I messed this up. Until next time, this is Sandwell Junction, signing off.